And there are many paths to tread through shadow to the edge of night, till the stars are all alight.
Mist and shadow, cloud and shade.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Equal Parts Coffee Podcast. It's just Nick here right now, if you're an audio listener. But if you are watching the video, you can see Jack's backside. He's facing away right now, pulling a shot of espresso. What are you pulling, Jack?
What we're drinking today.
The Kenya Gachatha? I haven't had that on espresso. Is it good?
You have? I haven't.
I haven't. No, I haven't. You haven't had it?
No.
Okay, neither of us have had this on espresso yet. I will say this is a really tasty coffee on filter. It's very, you know what? I'll save that. I'll save that till we're talking about it. Are we just having espresso? Or we have filter too? We're going to have it two ways, yeah?
I have come prepared.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. All right. That's fire.
Take a look at this crema chat.
Yeah, that looks killer. What was the pull draw time on that?
I didn't use a timer.
Okay, if you had to guess.
Pretty good.
20 seconds?
Maybe good,
Seemed
like
kinda
18
fast.
seconds.
Yeah. Oh, that's a little quick.
I can roll this back. Maybe I'll put it over the screen because
Yeah.
I can count how many seconds I was standing back there for.
Now this is your glass from Expo.
I picked that up at the expo. Shout out the company that makes those.
Apex. No,
Something. They're pretty
that's
cool.
embarrassing. They won a design award
They did.
for their stuff,
Yeah.
so it's kind of embarrassing that we don't remember their name. But
Shout out you guys.
yeah,
Doing a
shout out
great
for
job.
that. All the cool people had these.
Yeah, well, I had it and I was wearing it around my neck because the idea
It's
is
good.
you've got these. Thank you.
Yeah.
You've got these aeration fins in there, so when you swirl your drink, you can kind of help incorporate it better.
Help to agitate it, stir it up.
Yeah, but also at the expo, there's a lot of coffee to taste, and they have a bunch of paper cups. A bunch of paper cups there. And you can just get one of these glass ones, and you don't have to use a ton of paper cups anymore.
Yeah. Well, because every cafe, everybody that is doing anything is serving coffee for you to try. So it's just a way to kind of reduce that waste, which is nice because, heck, I don't know how many paper cups I used.
Too many.
Probably like at least 5.
Dang.
They're many, the 4-ounce ones. I probably used more than
See,
5.
I used
because there's a bunch of stands.
I used a bunch, and then I got this, and then I feel like I didn't drink nearly as much coffee after that for some reason. So it was nearer to the end.
Yeah.
Still a good time. Well,
All
episode
right.
16.
Episode 16.
16.
Type.
I remember when I was 16.
Sweet 16.
I was
I don't. Oh,
got some dishes moving around.
it's probably a rat. They don't move on
Probably.
their own.
No, ground squirrel. That's what it would be.
Sure.
Yeah, I caught a few of those.
I don't even remember what I did for my 16th birthday.
I don't remember what I did either. I know I was a punk though.
What?
I still am a punk.
Oh, yeah,
but
you are.
I was.
You kidding?
I was.
was about
If
to
you can
correct
believe
that.
it, I was more of a punk.
But barely. Honestly.
Barely, but still more.
Yeah, man. I really don't even remember.
Honestly, not bad for not dialing this in.
Yeah, no.
I didn't dial
pretty
this
solid.
in. I'm just gonna say that right there. Maybe I've talked about this before, but I don't make a whole lot of espresso at home, so I don't typically dial in coffees because I like to rotate a lot of different coffees at home. So
Yeah. And on that, I feel like you can guess, kind of. If you have enough experience with like certain coffees and you know your equipment well, you can kind of get within reason.
yeah,
Like Jack did, where he pulled a shot that was probably about 20 seconds and it tastes reasonably good. Like, yeah, he could dial it in better, but honestly, you know,
yeah.
point?
When I first got the machine, and like here and there, I'll make changes. You know, if it's pulling fast or slow. But like you can get a pretty good shot unless the coffee's density is varying wildly from different coffees, which I'm sure some of them are.
yeah. Yeah, when I first got my machine at home, I'd come home from work and then dial an espresso for fun until like 9 at night.
Dang.
Yeah.
Ha,
Ripping shots.
that's like That's a lot of hours to be dialing an espresso.
Yeah, for fun. It was for fun though.
If you're a barista and you're watching this, comment down below the longest you've spent dialing in a coffee. Because I've spent, especially early days as a barista, a long time dialing in coffees. Not for fun like you did. It was very stressful. Like, try to dial in something and the rush is coming in and it just makes it harder.
Dude, dialing in a rush.
Dialing in a rush.
You're in the middle of
different.
it. You've got a line of orders and your hopper empties and you got to put on a single origin.
What do? You just let it rip with new coffee, no dialing, or do you dial it in? Don't be that person.
Unheard of.
Don't be that person.
Sometimes I will pull multiple shots in confidence. If I'm like, okay, that pulled at a reasonable time, right? We're buried right now.
Yeah.
I pull a couple, and then I'm able to taste that first one that I pulled, and then I'm like, perfect, that's good.
Yeah, because you can. A lot of the times you can do a typical, like, pull a shot. If it tastes good, you pull, or tastes good enough, you can pull more, and then you can keep tinkering it from there. So
yeah. Shout out Cam, by the way, just now for calling me. I declined your call.
Oh.
So I'll respond to you later.
There's his alibi for not answering your call.
Cool. So this week did something today, and we have something coming up. Today we just finally got back into doing our roastery tours. That's something that we really wanted to do for a while, and we did a handful of them. And Adam was leading them, and then his son was born.
True.
And so it kind of put a halt on that because he wasn't available, and then we just didn't pick him back up because it's kind of hard.
He didn't pick his son back up?
No, didn't pick the tours back up.
That makes sense.
It's hard to do something like that, you know? Like you have to make
It
time
is.
for it. We're offering them for free because we really just value people being there and really sharing what we care about.
Yeah.
But it's not like easy to do that necessarily.
Nope.
But we were able to do our first one in about a year today,
which
was good.
It's tricky because it's not one of those things that you're going to see a very quick return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of like a long term, especially doing it for free. You know, you're not making money on these, but it's more so like there's so many people in the area that we know that are just so intrigued by coffee that are like either just beginning their coffee journey or are very well into it, that they just are eager to learn more. They love what we've been doing and they want to peek behind the curtain as to what's going on. And that's what I know you love, and that's what I love doing, to share our love for coffee with other people. So it's a great way to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Cam again for texting me saying that you accidentally called me. That's fine.
There you go. It's resolved.
No worries.
Look at that. Love you, Cam.
Yeah. So Cam actually, he like sprouted all these pumpkins a couple months ago and he handed them out to a bunch of us. Jack isn't doing it.
Unfortunately, next time.
But it's going on right now, you know, where everybody's growing our pumpkins.
Pumpkin War.
Yeah. Getting ready for the fall.
Is that?
Oh, man. It's like.
It's too long.
It's really long. Yeah, the abbreviation has like 13 G's in it because he made it a comically
there's at
long
least
name.
one T in there, right?
There is one. Yeah,
okay, so it's like
T is for Travers.
GGGTDG something.
Yeah,
It pulls up on my phone every time I
GGGG.
get a text from it. People growing pumpkins.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah, my plant is huge, but it's fully indoor so far. So I don't know.
I feel like it's against the rules, but I don't know.
No, there are no rules. That's the thing.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, Cam said we want this to be as exciting as baseball used to be.
So you can
what he
use
said. So there's no
performance
rules.
enhancing drugs
Exactly.
on your pumpkin, if that's possible. Yeah, that's definitely possible
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Ever heard of GMOs?
Might not be FDA approved, but you know, you're probably not
Don't
going to
eat
eat
it.
them.
Don't eat it.
There you go.
Anyway, so we got those roastery tours.
Yeah.
And coming up on the 20th, we are going to be at
The third annual Roasters Retreat held by Washed Up Coffee. Shout out Washed Up Coffee for reaching out to Mundos about participating. So
Yeah.
we will be there.
Yeah,
Nick and I will be there.
Yep.
Actually.
Us and our wives will be down there.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, I don't know that much about it. Never been. Hadn't heard of it before we're
No,
invited.
it's kind of a new thing.
Yep. But
A lot of big names are going to be there.
Yeah, we're looking forward to being there. Like we want to be at stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I love
like,
doing it.
We love connecting with people and being able to share what we're passionate about. So
Yeah. It's like, I think there's like 150 tickets to this event. I think the tickets are still available. Go to washedupcoffee.com, get some tickets there. You'll be able to come down and taste a lot of coffee from a lot of different roasters and just to get to learn. Maybe if you're interested in getting coffee from a roastery or you just want to learn more, that'll be a great way to do it. If you're in the Detroit area or you want to go to Detroit.
Yeah, if you're looking for wholesale partnerships, great opportunity. If you just want to try some coffees from a lot of people, great opportunity. And also, like, if you just want to connect with people in the industry.
Yeah.
It's all, all of us things.
And right now, if you're not in the Detroit area, Airbnbs are not that bad.
Shout
out to my Airbnb host for uncanceling on me, believe it or not. Canceled first, and then he said it's actually available. So, and he gave me a little discount after that. So it's pretty sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, nice guy.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of great people going to be there. No, Madcap's going to be there. Lantern Coffee's going to be there. New Order Coffee. A lot of other places that I can't think of. I think
your dad said that La Marzocco is a sponsor or something. I don't know that much more. I need to look into it.
Nice. Yeah, we'll probably I'm sure we can throw up the banner on our story so you guys can see. They've got like everyone who's coming there. Or if you want to check out their page, Washed Up Coffee is hosting it. So it will be at the Desert Oasis headquarters in Ferndale. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about this coffee. So
yes.
It's one of our Highland Collection coffees.
Oh, peep the new box if you haven't seen.
Doesn't that make you want what's inside of it even more?
My child right here.
The Kenya Gachatha. Orange, brown sugar, and cinnamon are the tasting notes. That was a nice espresso. I think with the little dial-in, that could be fire.
You can bring a little more sweetness in that, but that was really good. I'm surprised by how good that was.
Yeah.
Gonna have a Cortado after this for sure.
Gonna have one.
Yeah.
Cortado tomato. So this coffee, I feel like my experience of it so far has been like has a full kind of cinnamony, kind of chocolatey body, and then the finish is like fruit and florals. So like the taste of it on your tongue is almost mellow, and then once it's out of your mouth, like in your nose and your senses, it's floral and fruity. Yeah. I don't know if you...
For sure. I think a good way I've heard people explain it as if you ever had a washed Kenyan coffee, like right now we have a Kenya Nairi, and that coffee, typically washed Kenyans like that coffee. They're exceedingly bright, very acidic, very juicy, kind of like orange juice, really good. And this is kind of like you take coffee like that, you stew it down, you cook it down, you reduce it. It's like a Kenya Nairi reduction in a way. Cook it down, a little more sweetness, less acidity, but still really good. A little more like more of those spices. I like it. What are the notes? What do they got? Orange, brown sugar, and cinnamon. Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, it's honestly really interesting because there's not a lot of coffees where I feel like all of like the complexities in the finish, but I like it. Like it's pleasant and simple on your palate, and then there's stuff to dissect. Especially like this is a coffee where you really have to breathe out through your nose to fully experience what's in the finish of that. If that's not something you're doing, do it. Yeah. Start breathing out through your nose. I do it honestly when I consume anything at this point. It's kind of crazy. But at first I was like told that helps you taste things, and I was like, I don't really see it. Yeah. But like as I've made a practice of it, I like you can I can still taste it when I blow it through my nose. Nice. It makes a huge difference. So if you want to like really get good at tasting things, that's a practice I'd recommend
good at
you
tasting things. Honestly, it's such a skill to have, and you'll benefit your entire life from that. It'll open up your palate. If you're someone who maybe doesn't like certain foods, like open up your palate, try new things. You'll enjoy the things you like more. You'll enjoy more things. There's just so much good stuff to enjoy out there.
Yeah, honestly, life is too short to like have ridiculous preferences. Yeah.
This has got to be the quickest the podcast episode has gone to that. What do you want to call that? Like, I feel like a lot of the times we veer off into like and it's not a bad thing, but into like a enjoy your life segment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Real.
A little more though, like heartfelt, which is great.
If there's stuff that you don't like to eat,
do better.
Change your mind. That's just my recommendation. It's like, not that I listen, I might be a little bit hypocritical. There are certain things I tend not to enjoy, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to try it, you know? So just be willing. Change your mind.
But from a former,
Okay, especially if it's tomatoes. Come on, people.
Such a former-
Gosh, onions, buzz. Come on.
that yellow, you can not like onions as a kid, but like when you grow up, you got to grow up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Jack just came after half the people that are probably listening. Onions are unpopular for some reason. Anyway, let's move on from that. I totally agree with everything that was just said. Today, figured we would go over talking about some like cafe classic drinks.
Yeah.
Language that's used in a cafe, I think, can be really intimidating and confusing because there's like all of these nicknames for things. Obviously, you know that, right? Like places like Starbucks really play off of that by
Don't
coming
even
up
get
with
me
their
started.
own. Like they capitalize on that.
Actually, do get me started. Let's dig into it.
Yeah. So I think that there's part of that is there's a lot of tradition. So you kind of have to understand where something came from to understand why it's called what it is.
Yeah.
And understand the difference, because here's the thing. It's not just that there's a bunch of fancy names, but two people can say the same name and mean something different. And it's very confusing,
Ain't that
especially
the truth?
especially on the bar side of things. So I think understanding
Yeah.
where these things come from
Yeah.
can help you diagnose both what you want and how to communicate it to a barista,
Diagnose. I like that.
or how to actually understand what somebody's asking for across the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're diving into the origins of a lot of cafe classic drinks, how they came to be, and what they are now.
Yeah. Let's start with espresso. Simple enough. There's four. Yeah. There are four like main styles of espresso that have specific names. So one is just going to be
Well, espresso.
espresso. Yeah. If you order an espresso, traditionally you are going to get a single shot of espresso. Okay. And then there's some double espresso or a doppio, which is Italian for double. So Jack, why is there that distinction between a single shot and a double shot when we pull double shots for every drink and most drinks use a double shot?
Well, I know that most espresso machines, even nowadays, or even traditional espresso machines, will have a two spouts on their portafilter, which is what you're going to be pulling your shot with, so that you can separate either of those shots. Modern machines will have what's called a naked portafilter, where there isn't that split. Yeah, I got a sense of that word. An unclothed portafilter.
Whoa.
That doesn't have those split, so everything just comes out right in there. So that would be called a double shot because it's not split into two, it's in one. Still double shot.
Yeah, exactly. And most drinks use a double shot.
Yep.
But I think there could be some confusion with that because people will say, "Can I get an extra shot of espresso?" It's okay. Do you want? I often use the language. Do you want twice as much coffee as you were getting, or are you looking for an extra single shot?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand that distinction. It's kind of important.
I went to a cafe once and I ordered a double shot of espresso because, I thought I was cool, right? And I'm not going to just say I want an espresso. I said I wanted a double shot of espresso, which you don't need to say that. You don't need to say all that.
Don't be
I ended up
pretentious.
getting a quad shot of espresso because I asked for a double espresso. Or maybe that's not what they're used to, people asking for a double of something when it comes to espresso. So I got 4 ounces of espresso. It was a lot. I drank all of it. It was pretty good. Verve coffee. It was coffee roasted by them, but not their cafe.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was a cafe that was downtown Traverse City. Doesn't exist anymore, I don't think.
Nice. So there's single and double shots of espresso. Now there are some more terms that are a little bit more steeped in tradition. There's ristretto and lungo. Okay.
Lungo.
So ristretto, it means restricted. And what they do with that is you're pulling a shot. Say you got 20 grams in that portafilter and you're going to pull a 1-to-2 ratio. Instead, you cut it off at 20. So what you're going to get is a much stronger, more concentrated, smaller in volume shot. Now, why anybody would do this, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Because it doesn't make sense. If you want to, I think that you could reasonably dial in a shot to be a 1-to-1 ratio if you intended for that. But if you're taking a shot that's perfectly dialed in at a 1-to-2 ratio and cutting it off in half, I've done this and tasted it, and it tastes like brine, like salt water, but like it's like soy sauce.
Imagine
it's thick, it's coating.
It's like, like taking a pour over, right? Every part of the brew is crucial to the end flavor. Maybe your bloom, your first pour, second pour, third pour, however it is. If you were to take any of those and drink them all separately, they're not going to taste the same, for one, and they're not going to taste good on their own, because the first part of the brew is going to be the strongest because that's first contact, and then the second part, and then the third part is going to be the least strongest. So they're all going to be kind of out of whack. Combined, you have a great beverage, but like this, you're taking a perfectly balanced double shot of espresso that's dialed in, particularly to be pulled at that extraction level. You're just cutting off the second half, which is going to bring a lot more balance to it. So
this is something. Weird. This is a strategy I use to help people learn how to dial in, and what under extracted espresso tastes like is I'll actually just pull them the first half of the shot, so that they know what under extraction tastes like. And it's
smart.
It's tough. It tastes tough. And I'll take 2 cups, and so I'll get that first half, and as it's pulling, I just do a quick swap, and I get in the second half. So the first half tastes under extracted, the second half tastes over, and it's like hollow, bitter, watery.
Yeah.
It does. It's like a, but the under extracted is like a,
I mean, we can dive into that a little more. Like, I think that it is extremely helpful when you are learning how to dial in coffee at home or at a shop. It is good to know what an under and an over extracted shot tastes like, because if you're a first time espresso drinker, all espresso is going to taste bad to you. It's an acquired taste.
It's there's an intensity to it that your tongue isn't used to, and so you're not able to distinguish.
Yeah. So I think that's important. A very good thing. A very easy way to do that. Pulling a ristretto, you don't have to mess with all of your variables, changing grind sizes. You can just taste the different parts of the shot to know that this tastes bad and the other one tastes bad on either end of the spectrum of bad.
The crazy thing is, if you literally take those two and you mix them together,
boom,
perfect shot. It tastes great.
Yeah.
And because both of those things are present, but they balance each other.
What are some other things like that? Like I think foods or drinks that taste bad separately but taste good together. Are there any? I'm trying to think
bad
of
separately.
Yeah, for some reason the first thing that came to my head was like epoxy. You mixed the two parts of epoxy.
Well, here's the thing. Epoxy tastes great when you mix them together, but if you take each of the tubes, it's not good.
Coming from the guy who was drinking out of an epoxy lined tankard yesterday.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Whatever.
You don't want to know.
It's fine.
It's a long story.
Yeah, so that is what a ristretto is. A lungo means long, and that is a shot where
it doesn't mean lung.
No, it's where you pull it past the time. So some would call that over extraction again, but
subtle dig.
There are plenty of people, I will say, there are plenty of people that will pull a lungo style shot that is intended to be dialed in that way.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I'm sure it tastes great. If you're taking a shot that's, again, perfectly dialed in at a 1-to-2 ratio and you're drawing it out, it's going to be over extracted.
This is my exact logic for why I don't like Americanos. You're taking a perfectly extracted shot and muddling it, Yeah. Just like pulling in a ristretto is...
That's different, though.
That's taking a perfectly dialed in shot and cutting it off. So it's not extracted properly. It is slightly different. I will say, yeah, it is. Because you are extracting it perfectly and then adding water to it. But that's kind of my logic for not liking Americanos. So
Yeah, I do think that if you're going into a place that cares about their espresso... If you're going to a place that doesn't care about their espresso, walk out. Why are you getting coffee there? Honestly, your body deserves better. Okay. Anyway,
sometimes it's hard to tell if they care.
It can be hard to tell, but if their hoppers are greasy, that's a good tell. Anyway, now if you are going to a place that cares about their espresso, why would you want them to alter that recipe? They it's dialed in to the way that they're pleased with it and they're willing to serve it. As soon as you make that a ristretto or a lungo, you're screwing that whole recipe up. It's not going to taste very good. But if at home you say, okay, I want a more drawn out espresso, you can do that. You would probably want to coarsen your grind size and make a few adjustments, and you could probably make a good lungo. But if you just take a regular shot and you make it a lungo, that's probably not going to be
So you're saying the sign of a good coffee shop is that they will refuse you one of those drinks?
No, they will resist though.
They will resist. Okay. Yeah, that's another like a sensitive subject sometimes is like, how do you balance the hospitality but also making sure you're serving an excellent product at the same time? Because
Yeah.
is the customer always right?
No.
I mean, we all know that's not true.
And the customers, well, here's the thing. The phrase is the customer's always right in matters of taste, and even that's not true. So I don't know who came up with that, but
some, people like what
To
they
an
like
extent, to an
sometimes,
extent,
you know?
yes.
So, but at some point I feel like there's ways to gracefully do it, but also, you're not Starbucks. If you're a specialty coffee shop, you're not Starbucks. So you're not going to make the same drinks. They will. And people, I think in the end, will appreciate you for that, for being something different.
That's the thing that you see is like it's challenging to resist the coffee culture that we live in to push for higher quality and integrity in what you're doing and what you care about. And that can be challenging. I mean, a lot of places will say, man, Starbucks is doing this or these places are doing this and people are really liking it. And I'm feeling a lot of pressure to do that. Don't feel that pressure. Get it off you. You're not them. Don't worry about
feel
it.
it.
Don't feel it. Don't feel that pressure. You're not them. You're doing your own thing and you're doing it well.
Yeah, you are.
Maybe you might not be doing it well, but probably. I'm sure you are.
If you're listening to this, you're doing it well.
You're doing something
or
right.
You can be doing it well.
What are you doing right now listening to this? That's crazy.
Are you driving? Are you sitting or staring at the wall? All right, let's continue.
Okay. Now, Jack's favorite punching bag, the Americano.
Yes.
The Americano is an espresso drink. Americano in Italian means American. During World War II,
no way.
American troops were in Italy, and they're like, "What is this? This is really this cup of coffee is really tiny. What's this tiny cup of coffee? It's tiny."
Americans and their portion sizes.
Yeah, it's like, wait, this is too small. I wanted a bigger coffee, and so then they dump it in water and they call it the American, because it's it's reminiscent of a filter coffee, but made in the Italian style.
Yeah,
and that's where it got its name.
It makes
from.
sense. Like every burger shop here will have a big serving of fries with it, but fries really are just a filler food. Potatoes are. So water is the filler, just making things larger without making them better necessarily. So.
That's real. I mean, the number of people that will ask for more water in their Americano to me all the time, it's like, why? It's more water. It's just water. Why do you want more water? Anyway, it's fine. Now, a long black is the Australian version of this drink.
The upside down.
Yes, and it is in fact upside down. It's made differently.
I didn't even mean to do that. Let's go.
So, and I didn't know this until recently.
Neither did I.
A long black is your water and you pour your shot on top of it. An Americano is you put hot water on top of your shot. That has some differences, but I've always made my Americanos shot second. I think it's better. So apparently, I think that a long black is better than an Americano. The reason that you'd put the shot on top is because that crema is actually going to be preserved better and it's going to rest on top, and that's going to impact the experience. It impacts.
Do you
the
stir
color.
after?
No.
Is it fully mixed? Probably.
It mixes well enough. It's going to preserve the color, and it's going to have the compounds and the flavors that are trapped in the crema, which is a lot of the bitterness of the coffee on the top, and so it makes for a different drinking experience.
Yeah. So do you think if I had a long black, I would like it?
Not necessarily.
No, I haven't had an Americano
but
either.
I bet that you could have a long black that's 6 ounces with the right coffee that you would find enjoyable. Cooler water too.
Yeah.
It's the near boiling water for Americanos is I've never liked
crazy.
that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, at some point you're probably
Too
burning the coffee. Well,
or at least causing it to continue to extract.
Yeah.
Yeah. Increasing the bitterness of it. Yeah. Too hot to taste. I'll never understand that.
Yeah.
Your buds can only handle so much heat before they can't taste things.
True.
Right? You get over a certain temperature and your buds are like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah. I am someone who will wait 5 to 10 minutes before I drink my coffee. And people always hound after me for that. Like, don't forget to drink your coffee. Don't forget to drink your coffee. And I'm like, I don't know. I prefer not to burn my taste buds.
Agreed.
But sometimes I wait too long.
I like to sip hot coffee a little bit, but I think that you're getting the truest and fullest idea of what that cup has to offer as it cools, and even sometimes when it gets like room temp.
And that's the cool
Because
thing.
here's the thing. The good coffees are still good when they get cold. That's why I never reheat my coffee, any of that, because if I'm drinking a good coffee, it's still going to taste good when it's cold. It's going to taste different.
Yeah.
It's still going to taste good.
Yeah. Real. That's real.
It's facts.
I mean,
it's like
I
a
feel like I
steak.
prefer it hot, but like even if it gets cold, like it can still be enjoyable. I prefer hot beverages most of the time anyway, but yeah, a good coffee is good when it loses its heat.
Yeah. Because all that does is serves to reveal the flavors that were hidden, that were masked by the heat. It's real. It's true. It just reveals the flavors that were already there that were masked by the heat. It's like, you sit down, you got a delicious steak in front of you. Okay. It's like pretty rare, right? Yeah. Beautiful sear, just like some light, maybe salt and peppering. I'm hungry. I'm really hungry right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You're kind of into that. You're eating it. It's hot. It's good. Okay. Yep. You're working on the other things on your plate. You come back to it. It's room temp. You take a slice of that, eat it. It's still good. It's still good. The heat didn't make it good. It was always good.
You're going to catch some flack for that, but
it's real. Here's the thing. There is meat that you can eat that when it gets cold, woof. Who wants a cold hot dog? You know why? Because it sucked from the beginning.
That's fair.
Anyway,
yeah.
I think I'm not going to say across the board. And yes, I do prefer hot on things. But all I'm saying is there's something to be said about something being quality and still tasting good after it cools because it's quality.
Is it only good because it's hot food or hot beverage, or is it good because it tastes good?
Yeah, that's true. Anyway,
let me know if you need some more.
This was cold, and it was good.
I got a tiny bit more.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all the basic black coffee drinks. Let us know if we missed anything. There is so much to talk about, and there's so many different drinks from cultures. But
oh, that's sad.
Ooh, sorry, Jack.
Last drip.
You should have given me like half or something.
Coffee grounds in there.
So yeah, let us know if we missed anything. Comment down below. What we missed. If we missed
what your
anything.
favorite espresso or non-milk based espresso drink is.
Yep. Smash that like button. Smash that like button if you like coffee.
Subscribe. What is it? The notification bell so you get alerted
hit
whenever
that bell
we post
icon.
a video.
What else do they say?
I don't even have that on for our own videos because I already know when we drop a video.
Are you serious?
I don't have it on.
I don't know if I do or not.
You can't do that on Spotify, can you? Or Apple Podcasts. You have to subscribe. You can still subscribe, but there's no bell.
No bell.
Go to settings.
They basically just choose when they notify you. I feel like that's the way it is with a lot of Apple stuff. It's like you're in Apple Music and you're like, hey, let me know when this artist releases a new album.
They didn't have that feature for so long.
And then all of a sudden you're like, your favorite artist released an album 6 months ago. And we never told you. Anyway, I don't want to. Jack,
yes.
Explain a traditional espresso macchiato to me.
Espresso macchiato. Well, I know it's an Italian drink, and the definition of the word macchiato means mark, to mark something. In this case, to mark espresso with milk. So a traditional macchiato from Italy would be a double shot of espresso with just a splash of foam in particular. Not just steamed milk, but foam.
Not even a splash, just a delicate placement.
A dollop.
A dollop, yes.
I've heard dollop.
Yeah, dollop's a good word.
And sometimes I've seen it where it's such a small amount and a thick amount of foam where it's just kind of like placed in the middle of the crema and you can still see espresso around it. Yeah. So that's how little milk there is in it.
Yeah. Now, the Italians traditionally have always done like the traditional Italian way for most things is very frothy milk.
Yes. They like their foam over
I don't
there for some
really
reason.
understand the point of adding that little milk to an espresso.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not drinking dark roast espresso. And so that's probably why.
Yeah, you don't need something to take the edge off.
Yeah.
You know, the edge is good.
There's no edge. I like the edge.
Yeah, I like the edge.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's an espresso macchiato. Mm-hmm. Now, the more modern version of that, which is like what we serve at Mundos and a lot of third wave shops, is that same idea of a drink. It's a double shot of espresso. But in the third wave, a lot of coffee places have been like, if we make really nice micro foam, it'll fully incorporate into the whole drink rather than being separate or on top. It'll incorporate into the whole drink, and we can rip some art on the top.
If you haven't had good micro foam, you got to try it. Like, it's like, especially with smaller espresso-based beverages like Macchiato or Cortado, it's life-changing how incredible and how sweet that milk can be on its own, and it can help complement a espresso's flavor.
Here's a hot take.
Do it.
Okay, this is a Nick hot take.
Yeah.
Okay, I do not like froth. I don't like airy texture on the top of any of my beverages. I don't like frothy milk.
Okay.
I don't like the foam in a root beer float.
Oh yeah. It's just kind of like nothingness, and you're kind of like, oh man, I wish this was ice cream right now, but it's not.
It's in my way.
It makes you think it's more full than it is.
I don't like the head on nitro cold brew.
Sure.
And I don't know if I really enjoy the head on beer.
Oh,
get me past that. It's like once I'm past that, I can actually enjoy the drink. But right now, I'm battling with this. I'm drowning in this foam sea, and it's like it doesn't taste like anything. It's just air. Why am I drinking this? I don't like foam. So I don't like frothy milk.
Whipped cream either.
No, I always request no whipped cream on top of my milkshakes.
At Slabtown in particular?
Not always. I'm not like a difficult person. But at Chick-fil-A, when it's like in the app, I'll just click no.
Have you ever done it at Slabtown with no whipped cream?
I don't really get shakes from Slabtown.
Dang. Well, I'm
not a huge milkshake
Tatum
guy.
doesn't like whipped cream either, and we always ask for it. And
they still do it?
They still do it.
Nice. They're probably like...
Particularly because I'm okay with it, and she doesn't like it. So it's like, we need one without and one with. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And they both have it. And it's just whatever, She's not like...
Shout out Slabtown. Killer burgers. Killer chicken tenders. Yeah. Hidden secret.
Although...
Killer fries. Killer
changed
shakes.
your buns a couple months ago, and not as good. Couple years. Sorry.
What do you mean?
I
always get the pretzel bun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I now get the pretzel bun.
I've always gotten a pretzel bun,
Even though it's an extra charge. Their older buns, they're good. The newer buns, not so good. So I switched to pretzel bun. But maybe that was that's their ploy all along, was to make me spend the extra $1.
I don't know anything about these other buns, but I've always
but
pretzel bunned it up.
Okay. We still love you.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent. But I don't really like frothy milk.
Yeah.
Kind of agree with that third wave sentiment that microfoam is a lot better. It incorporates in the whole drink. And so if you go to a specialty cafe, you're likely going to get, if you order a macchiato, you're not going to get that traditional Italian style. Yeah. You're going to get that poured art of with like an ounce of...
For one, no foam,
milk.
So it tastes better. You get art. Come on. It looks great. And it just all around is a better experience.
Yeah.
Than just a dollop of foam.
Let's talk about the latte macchiato, the bane of the specialty coffee professional's existence.
If you've worked in a specialty cafe or even a second wave cafe, you've had this experience. Somebody comes in asking for a caramel macchiato. Your heart drops. Everything is running through your mind. What do you say? How do you not offend this person? How do you get them to get a drink that they will enjoy without hurting their ego? It's a delicate balance. It's hard. I've even had people that I look them in the eye and I know they don't want the traditional macchiato experience. The specialty coffee macchiato. I know they don't want an espresso macchiato.
Show them the cup.
But, and I've done that too, but some people are incredibly stubborn and they will still get the macchiato because they don't want to be wrong. And they will drink it. And maybe they like it. That's good for them. But it's okay to order a beverage and it not be what you want. Listen to your barista. They're trying to help you for the most part. Find the right beverage for you.
Yeah. So yes, Starbucks popularized the latte macchiato, although they just call it a macchiato, which everybody calls the traditional macchiato as well. Yeah. And they essentially make you a latte.
Oh yeah.
But they mark the espresso or the milk with the espresso. So they make it upside down latte, and it's the same.
So it's like a latte with no latte art. They have often made them
very sweet. Add a lot. Yeah, no latte art. It's just got the brown stain in the middle. Sounds good when you say it like that. often has like caramel and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, people don't really know there's a distinction. They go in, they see macchiato on your menu, and they say, "I'll have a macchiato."
Yeah.
When really, the best thing that you have that's going to actually match what they want is a latte,
Yes.
especially usually caramel for some reason. For those that don't know, latte means milk in Italian. So a cafe latte means coffee with milk. So when they
Coffee
make
milk.
the term
Milk coffee.
latte macchiato, it's just milk marked. So they mark the milk with espresso.
Milk marked.
But yeah, so that creates a great deal of confusion.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yep, it's just a prime example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to the future confusion that may be caused, the cortado.
Yes.
Jack, where does the cortado originate?
So cortado originates in Spain. In Spanish, cortar, the root word, means to cut or just cut.
Yes.
So you are cutting your, in this instance, espresso with milk. And
it's true.
that's cortado is actually where the name for this podcast originated, because it is
Equal parts.
espresso and milk. So
And
pretty
cortados
sweet.
are fire.
One of the best, would you say one of the best, if not the best, espresso base beverage?
I think it is the
right?
best espresso milk drink that you can get.
Yeah, espresso plus milk. And honestly, there's so many names for all of these espresso beverages with milk and whatnot, but literally, they're just all just espresso and milk to just varying amounts of temperature.
And usually just
foam.
varying amounts of milk.
Varying
That's
amounts
something
of
that's
milk.
important
That's
here
the biggest
too.
thing.
That's something that's important here too. People don't recognize that a macchiato, that a cortado, a cappuccino, a latte, they're all going to have, depending on where
Yeah.
you're getting it from, but generally they're all going to just have the same double shot of espresso
Yeah,
in them.
for sure.
And the coffee doesn't vary.
Pro tip, if you go to a specialty cafe especially, they will have their menus, their traditional menu on the wall, oriented in the way of how much milk is going to be in the drink.
Is that a normal
That
thing?
is a normal thing. That's where we got our menu from.
Oh.
Espresso, no milk. Macchiato, cortado, and it keeps going down, and they get more and more milk until you finally reach the latte. Some cafes will have two sizes for that, or what have you.
Yeah. But I mean, the number of people that I've, engaged with, like been taking their order and stuff, and then they're like going to get a cappuccino, and I tell them, the size, and they're like, "Oh, I need more coffee than that." It's like, well, you mean milk? It's the same coffee. It's going to be.
Yeah,
but like, there's a misconception with that.
Yes, exactly. That's another thing to think about. Like, if you're getting a cappuccino and you're kind of like, wow, this is kind of a small drink, I wanted more for this. If you get a larger size drink at most cafes, you're not getting any more coffee. It's just more milk. And this is the same for like any even non-specialty cafe like Starbucks or Big B or whatever it is that like you've got two sizes for a latte or whatever. Both sizes are going to have the same amount of coffee in them. It's just more milk or more sugar in them.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. Real. So yes, cortado's great. Generally, you want to have a little head of foam. It's a little bit cooler as a drink.
Yeah. Ideally, you want to get a perfect temperature where you can drink it right away.
Yep.
Don't
4
have to
ounces. 4 ounces too.
That's a glass.
Yes, this
you would
is
serve it
a
in.
cortado glass. The not neutral cortado glass. Shout out.
I broke my amber colored one. I'm so sad.
Tragic.
If you feel bad for me, not neutral, you can send me another one
Yeah.
or two.
Take pity on him.
Yes. I'll take an amber and a clear, please. Those are cool. Maybe the blue? No,
Honestly,
sorry, the
the-
green.
The blue's kind of fire too, though.
Blue's kind of fire. How about all of them? Kind of like all the Infinity
Yeah.
Stones.
If you're considering it, not neutral. Yes, so that's what a cortado is. Now, there's a couple variations of that drink. There's the Gibraltar, which you found out through your trip to
San
California.
Luis Obispo, California.
Yep. And we determined that it is the same drink, but
Yes.
a cortado was traditionally served in a shot glass.
Yep.
And because Blue Bottle bought a bunch of Libby Gibraltars when they were making the drink.
Gibraltar is also a name of a city in Spain, which is also adds to the confusion.
It does.
Because both of those drink names originated from the same place.
Yes. So So Blue Bottle bought a bunch of Libby Gibraltars,
Yep.
and so they decided to call it a Gibraltar because technically it wasn't traditional because it wasn't in the right kind of shot glass. Where ultimately, I don't think that matters. I don't think I should change a drink's name.
Yeah.
That feels a little confusing. But yeah, so a Gibraltar and a Cortado are the same thing.
Yep.
It's just a difference of glassware. But
Yeah.
even so, we serve every single one of our Cortados in a Libby Gibraltar.
Well, and the funny part about it is everywhere when in California, none of them were served at Libby Gibraltar. It was all
Really?
a different kind
Yeah.
of glass. They were all the same type of glass, but if it was slightly taller, more flared at the top, glass was not a Libby Gibraltar. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it's kind of a regional thing, I feel like at
it's
this
kind of
point.
like East Coast, West Coast kind of thing.
Now, the Piccolo.
Piccolo.
The
I like that
Piccolo
name.
is an espresso drink very similar to a Cortado.
Mm-hmm.
Same size, except traditionally it's done with a single shot.
Okay.
So it's just a less coffee ratio, but
Yeah.
also it's most traditionally it's done with a ristretto. So
I see.
you get a single shot of much stronger espresso. So it's less volume of espresso, but stronger.
I'd be interested to try that.
Yeah.
No,
Again,
I don't. In theory, it doesn't sound good. But
Again, like the ristretto part doesn't interest me, but I have had single shot Cortados. When I go to a new cafe, if I want to try their espresso, their milk steaming. Honestly, if I'm going to a new cafe and I really wanted to see what they have to offer, I'll get a pour over. I will get a 1-in-1 of a Cortado. So that's where you just pull it up, take a double shot. It actually wasn't on our list, 1-in-1, but that's a killer drink.
Well,
That's
yeah,
a killer combo.
I'm curious to see what if you would just order a 1-in-1 without specifying the size of the milk beverage. What would that be normally?
That's going to vary, though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm
And
wondering.
I've even
yeah.
had to explain what a 1-in-1 was to people, and it made me feel
For
very
sure.
pretentious, and I didn't like it. But
You see,
a 1-in-1 is where you take your double shot and you just split it. And one you put into the drink of choice, right? Whether it be a cappuccino, cortado.
Underrated beverage.
And then the other, it's just served to you as espresso, which is great because then you can taste their espresso, see how it tastes, and you can taste their milk, see how they steam it, how that coffee pairs with milk.
honestly a cafe cheat code. 2 drinks for the price of 1. Come on.
So that's what I'll normally get is a 1-in-1 Cortado size. So I've had single shot Cortados, which maybe is called a Piccolo. In my mind, it's almost like a small cappuccino,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, the ratio. Yep.
yeah, ratio of a cappuccino.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's those 3 drinks, the 4-ounce Kings. Now, the cappuccino I feel like gets very confusing.
Yes, it does.
So a traditional cappuccino in Italy, as we said before, the traditional Italian way of steaming milk was to froth it, very airy. So a traditional cappuccino is equal parts espresso, milk, and milk foam. So 1/3 of each. 2, 4, 6. So you got 2 ounces of espresso, 2 ounces of actual liquid milk, and then 2 ounces of foam on the top.
I wonder if part of that originated because of, Italy was one of the first countries to make espresso, to invent espresso machines. I wonder if the amount of foam added was potentially one of the causes. Could have been rudimentary espresso machines that didn't have a lot of control over how much air you added and how much microfoam you could create.
For sure.
Because creating microfoam is an incredibly complex process. You have to have just the right amount of steam, ideally very little air going into your milk, or very little water being added to your milk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Could be.
that definitely is probably the chief reason for that.
and then they just stuck with it because tradition.
So anyway, that's traditional cappuccino. Now the modern version of a cappuccino is like what we do at Mundos. It's the same drink, right? You got a double shot of espresso and 4 ounces of milk, except we make that microfoam. So in the same way that a macchiato has been adapted, cappuccino's been adapted to not be foamy, to have nice, thinly textured milk, great for art, absolutely ripping tulips on top.
Heck yeah.
You can rip it in a cappuccino.
Heck yeah.
And that's what that is. It's a great drink. Get them a lot in the wintertime.
I love making
especially.
cappuccinos. The mug fits
Yeah.
nicely in my hand.
Cappuccino's my
Super
favorite thing
easy.
to pour.
Yeah, I like cappuccinos and cortados to pour. Those are fun. Cortados are you have less room, and it's harder to nail. But when you nail it,
Yeah.
such a good feeling.
Yeah, but I feel like a cappuccino is a guaranteed win. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an easy dub.
Latte is kind of like you have almost a little too much room. Your canvas is too large.
Yeah,
Cappuccino is that sweet spot for art. So
it is. So because of the traditional cappuccino, some people decided to use the same name and adjust the way it was made, like what we do at Mundos and a lot of other places do. So they just kind of kept the name and adapted the drink.
yes,
Others changed the name for an adapted version of the drink. So some cafes will have both a cappuccino and a flat white.
Yes.
And a flat white, if somebody comes into Mundos and asks for a flat white, I will serve them our cappuccino. What a flat white is a modern cappuccino. It's more thinly steamed milk. It's got that nice textured microfoam, and it is latte art, the whole deal.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're not getting a head of foam on top. You just have the thin microfoam, 2 ounces, 6 ounces.
And if you're going to a coffee shop and you want less foam and you're not sure whether or not they do foamy cappuccinos, ask for a flat white.
Yep.
And hopefully they should know what you're talking about.
Yep. Simplifies it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always good.
Now another thing, so that was especially popular in like Australia, that kind of thing. Another thing is if you order a cappuccino, you'll get chocolate on top. So like in Australia, I know like you'll get chocolate powder on top of a traditional cappuccino. So if you order a cappuccino, say in Australia, you're gonna, to my understanding, obviously I haven't ordered a cappuccino in Australia, but this is my understanding that you will get a traditional style cappuccino. So the rule of thirds with typically chocolate on top.
Yeah.
Because anybody that I have ever taken their order that has an Australian accent and asked for a cappuccino is always asking where the chocolate is. So
yeah, that's something I haven't thought about before.
Yeah.
But.
So yeah. So like if you know what you like, if you're like, okay, I want that thinly textured milk, you could order a cappuccino. If you know a place is going to do that, you could ask for a flat white.
Boom.
But there is some complication to the flat white because, again, places like Starbucks have used the term flat white to describe a larger drink that is, in fact, just a latte. So because Starbucks makes their lattes really foamy, they also have a flat white. And because Starbucks makes big drinks, that flat white is a latte size.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of people that will ask for a flat white, and they do not mean that they want that 6 ounce drink, double shot of espresso. They mean that they want like a 12-ounce drink, double shot of espresso.
Starbucks has done irreparable damage to the coffee industry is crazy. That now you cannot take what people say at face value. You have to get some sort of translation. You have to have specifics where the names of drinks at this point don't really mean anything anymore. They've kind of like all the names of drinks are somewhat arbitrary to the cafe you're at.
Yeah.
Barring maybe an espresso. But besides that, you kind of like have to do a little bit of educating for different people getting different things because it can mean wildly different things depending on where you go. Yeah.
So oftentimes I'll ask like the size that they wanted. I'll say like, did you want like, were you looking for like a 6 ounce flat white or like a 12 ounce?
Yeah.
If they were looking for the Starbucks style, they always tell me 12 ounce. If they were looking for the classic cappuccino style, they'll tell me 6 ounce. But that adds another layer of complication. So if you order a flat white at a place and it's just because you want a well-steamed cappuccino, they might give you a latte.
That's true. That's true.
So
what you got to do is you got to walk
I don't
into.
know. I don't have any advice on that.
You just walk into a cafe and you tell them exactly how many ounces of milk you want, exactly what temperature you want to steam to, and the amount of foam you want on it.
Yeah, they would really like you for that.
4 ounces
I want
of
a double shot of espresso.
light foam.
I want 10 ounces of steamed milk. Microfoam. I want a tulip on top.
Double cup, no sleeve. Double sleeve, no cup.
That's crazy. Okay. Anyway, it's hot in here. I'm sweating.
Be summer.
It does.
Middle of July.
Now, we talk about the flat white. We talk about the cafe latte. Okay. That is a double shot of espresso. And I think most traditionally, it's usually like a 10 ounce drink, maybe 8 ounce drink. In America, most of the time, you're going to get a 12 ounce latte as kind of that standard size.
Or even bigger.
Or
if you go to
bigger.
a non-specialty place.
Or bigger, yes. But it means coffee, milk, cafe latte. And it's an Italian drink. That's what it is. If you order a cafe latte from us, we're going to give you, or latte, we're going to give you that nice, thinly steamed microfoam.
It's going to be delish.
Well textured. It's going to be great. But yeah, not every place is going to do that. Some places might give you that foamier, airier milk. The cafe au lait. Now, if cafe latte means coffee milk, what does cafe au lait mean, Jack?
I don't know Italian, but
It's not Italian.
oh, it's not.
No,
What is it?
it's French
Oh,
for
That sounds.
coffee with milk.
Here's a fun fact. When we first had the cafe au lait in the menu at Mundos, we didn't have it on the menu, but we had it in our point of sale system, right? We didn't know how it was spelled, and I didn't know it was a French word, so it was literally spelled O-L-E. Cafe au lait.
Nice.
And that is not how it's spelled because it's a French
A-U-L-E,
word.
yeah? A-U
It's
space L-E.
A-U space L-A-I-T.
Oh.
Cafe
oh,
au
yeah.
latte.
That makes sense.
Late.
Yes. So it means the same thing as cafe latte, except it's French.
Okay.
And it is a worse version of a latte. I'm just going to say that. That's objective. That's not just my opinion. That's objective. I don't know why.
That's true.
I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
obviously, the Italians developed espresso, and French press style coffees like full immersion or even just like filter coffee is much more common. And so then you take about half and half filter coffee and steamed milk. So it is also coffee with milk, but it's just not as good. So I don't really,
I don't get it.
yeah, I don't really get that. I don't really get that one, but
To each their own, right?
yep, that's what it is.
Maybe.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just ratios here. There's a lot of poorly ratioed drinks, I think.
Yeah.
That that are so common to order, and the ratio is just terrible.
Here's the cool thing about espresso, right? It's just a couple ounces of coffee, but in reality, the amount of actual coffee grounds used in it is enough for a full cup of coffee. So you're getting all the flavor down to that level, and then you can go from there. You can customize. You can add milk. You can add sugar. You're kind of like stretching that. So the ratio of coffee to liquid stays the same as it would be in a full amount of cup of coffee. Then you have a deliciously creamy beverage because instead of brewing the rest with water, you have milk in there. So it's ultra creamy and rich, delicious. Cafe au lait, you have your coffee, and then you got your milk. So it's kind of watered down with milk, so to speak. That's what I would say. Diluting it. Ratios are messed up. It's like getting a full cup of hot coffee and wanting to make iced coffee with it. So you just pour that whole thing over ice.
Which I know some of you do. I know people are out here doing that. That's a mistake.
I know pointing's rude, but I'm going to do it because it's worth it. But yeah, you're just kind of messing up your ratios that way. There's a better way.
Yeah. We'll tell you the better way for the iced coffee in a second here, because I think a lot of people should be doing this at home. It's incredibly easy, but we'll get to that after we're done with the espresso drinks here. So that's a cafe au lait.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think I've tried it though.
Now, does anybody know if you order a cafe con leche, what you're gonna get? I don't know.
Cafe con leche?
Yeah,
That sounds like an ice cream.
That does. Sounds good. I think you're probably.
Tres leches.
It's probably because
is
you're
the ice
thinking of
cream.
dulce de leche.
I'm thinking tres leches. That's an ice cream flavor.
Oh.
3 milks.
Yep.
I didn't know. Does it have like goat milk in there too or something? I don't know. Anyway, it's good. I had it one time. Very creamy.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Now we come to the one that I think is maybe the most interesting and unknown. The mocha.
Mocha.
How did the word mocha come to be associated with putting chocolate in a latte?
Right?
Because it doesn't mean that.
No, that's what. So
mocha doesn't mean chocolate.
I walked into here today thinking that mocha was a word in a different language that meant chocolate coffee. Right? I couldn't be more wrong.
Mocha, as in, right? We're talking the same word here. We're talking mocha for a latte. We're talking a mocha pot. We're talking a mocha master. All of these things. We're like, what is that? What do these have to do in common? Because a mocha latte has chocolate.
Yeah.
A mocha pot makes espresso, but like not as good.
Yeah.
And a mocha master is a batch brewer. So what the crap's going on here? And they're all, you got the CHA and then you got the KK, or you just got the single K.
Darn transliteration.
Confusing.
Messing
Like,
us
what
all
does this
up.
even mean? I don't understand. Mocha is named after a port in Yemen. Okay, I don't know the actual original pronunciation of that port.
Lost to time.
I couldn't tell
Or
you.
to Nick,
no,
at
it's not
least.
lost to time. I could probably look it up, but I don't want to.
You guys do it.
You can do your research.
Correct us.
But this port in Yemen was popping off in the 18th, 19th century. They were just like,
It was the port to be at.
yeah, no, like they were just like, coffee was just flying off the dock out there. So, yeah, it was very popular coffee from there. And part of the reason why it was so exploding so much was because the coffee that they were selling was so chocolatey in its characteristics. And so that coffee that had tons of natural chocolatiness
Yeah.
was sold around the world. And because the natural chocolatiness of that coffee from Yemen, the term mocha slowly became associated with chocolate itself.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But
That's the only kind of chocolate and coffee that I like. Coffees that are inherently chocolatey on their own, not adding chocolate to coffee.
even then, overrated. Depends.
That's fair.
Depends.
That's fair.
Depends.
I like a good a coffee from Mexico that has some chocolatiness to it.
Yeah.
But
Okay. The
I like
Mexico Kisaya
Kisaya
was like, I mean, that
And
was
the-
like Reese's peanut butter cups, but not like Reese's peanut butter cups, because Reese's peanut butter cups are like a mid version of a really good peanut butter cup that you could probably get with
That's
better
true.
chocolate and better peanut butter.
That's true.
But like a really good peanut butter cup, that's what the Kisaya was like. And it had those chocolatey notes and it was delicious.
Mhm.
But a lot of, I feel like chocolatey notes are kind of bitter and not as pleasant.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another rabbit trail. So the word mocha is similar to the word Java in that it's just named after a place where coffee
Yeah.
came from and was just kind of popping off. And it became synonymous with a certain term.
Yeah.
So that's why, like the
Synonymous
Mocha
with
Master,
chocolatey coffee.
Batch brewers called that. It's
Mocha
like
pot.
it be called the Java Master or the Java Pot.
Java
That's like the
Master. That
same
sounds
thing.
like a workout machine,
Yeah,
but like also that you're drinking coffee while you do it.
yeah. Anyway,
I do
that's
that.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
it is. I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know. And if you didn't know as well, comment a chocolate bar emoji.
yeah, comment
Below.
down below if you disagree. I've honestly,
If you disagree.
I've been outdoing Jack today with my hot takes.
Mm.
I feel like I've just been really throwing them out there, not really holding back.
Yeah.
So comment down below if you're offended.
Yeah. Or with your hot take.
Yep. Or if you disagree with me. I just don't like. But why do you disagree with me though? Because like
That's true.
I feel
Let's hash it out.
I feel like I'm right. I feel
Nick
like I'm right.
likes to hash it out. We should do a live broadcast and have like an ask me anything, and then we can like hash it out right then and there. But for the time being, let's hash it out in the comments.
Yeah. So this is one that is pretty popular amongst a lot of people, and then there is another group of people that have no idea what this is or how to say it. But it's a cafe miel.
Yeah, I was wondering where you're going with that, but yeah.
I mean, you get 50-50 on that. You have people that know what it is and
Seriously.
they love it, and then you have people who don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I've heard cafe meow, as in like a cat's meow.
Meow.
I've heard cafe meal, like lunch
Like
or dinner.
I've heard cafe mule.
Mule.
A Moscow mule.
I mean, that sounds like a drink you get at a bar, like
Yeah.
a cocktail.
Anyway,
Cafe meal.
cafe miel. Miel means honey in Spanish. It's a honey cinnamon latte. Now, I don't actually know how the cinnamon got incorporated into that drink, because if you order a miel, you're not going to get just honey. You're going to get honey cinnamon. But that's what it is. It's just a latte with honey and cinnamon.
It's good stuff.
It's pretty good.
Classic.
I think that honey's a great pairing with coffee if you must. I think that honey's one of those
Better than
natural
chocolate, that's for sure.
sweetnesses that pairs better
Yeah.
than chocolate. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's like
I'll die on
I
that
feel like
hill.
chocolate and coffee are so similar that they often butt heads when it comes to. So you end up either having one or you having more powerful of one of the flavors or the other, and it kind of takes over. So if
You
you
know
have
how-
more chocolate, it's kind of like, this is a chocolate drink. More coffee, it's kind of a coffee drink. With honey, it's kind of like, wow, this is coffee that's sweetened with honey.
You know how they say opposites attract? Coffee and chocolate are not opposites, so they shouldn't be together.
Yeah, you made a joke about that before, but
Did
we're
I?
not gonna- on a couple episodes ago. I think when I first brought up my hot take,
Oh.
of chocolate and coffee,
All right.
But
Forget what I said.
it was too hot, so we can't say it again.
too hot.
Say it off the camera.
Too hot. London Fog. This is the one, yes, the only non-coffee drink. It's worth mentioning. London Fog, Earl Grey tea, a little bit of vanilla, some steamed milk. Nice drink, rainy
It's
day.
good stuff.
It's pretty killer.
Yeah.
So if you ever want,
Pretty easy to make at home.
Yeah.
If you have some way to steam, or you don't have to steam technically, but steamed milk's a little better.
You could heat the milk, like especially with a London Fog. I feel like you could heat the milk in a saucepan.
Yeah. Have a warm milk
And
beverage.
just like warm milk and tea. Yep, it's pretty good, especially that little vanilla in there sweetens it. It's a good drink. If you don't like coffee, or if you know somebody that doesn't like coffee, get them a London Fog. It's an easy win. I feel like I've never met somebody that has had a London Fog that doesn't like it.
Yeah. Unless like, you don't like bergamot oil for some reason, but it's nice.
Yeah. So there's that.
If you're making it at home, pro tip, add a little more tea than you would to make it more of a concentrated brew.
We've been talking about ratios.
Ratio.
This whole
That's the name of the
episode.
game.
Ratios, folks.
Equal parts.
Ratios.
That's the name of the
Speaking
podcast.
of ratios, let's talk about Japanese style flash brew after we talk about cold brew. So cold brew, traditional cold brew.
Cold brew. That was like, when did that like pop off? I knew it was popping off for like, 2016 or something like that?
Well, nitro. I think nitro really gave it some life, gave it some juice behind it.
Well, I remember cold brew was like the thing. Everyone's making cold brew. You always have cold brew in your fridge. Like that's when the toddies were popping off. Making cold brew at home was like a huge thing. 2016, I think. That was like right before we opened Mundos. It was like we were making cold brew at home because of it. Everyone loved it. I always tasted it and I was like, I'm very, very partial to hot coffee. I always prefer hot coffee over cold. That being said, I can appreciate a good coffee, but
yeah,
Cold
cold
coffee.
brew is you're not using heat. Heat isn't a factor
Yep.
in your extraction. And to substitute for that lack of heat, if you know anything about extraction, you got to increase something else, which
Yes.
in this case, it's time.
yeah. Because
So-
if you didn't know, like heat is a huge part in how the flavor it gets extracted out of coffee. If you
Yeah.
don't have that, you got to have something else.
Yep. And so we're adding time. So cold brew is like room temperature water, or even cool water. That
Health
is
department would tell you cold because refrigerated, but
okay. But listen,
who cares what they say?
if you're making the stuff at home, the health department makes stuff up. I swear.
That's the truth.
If you're a restaurant, do what the health department says.
Yeah.
If you're at home, I don't know, eat rotten stuff. Don't worry about it.
don't listen to this guy.
Okay,
Don't do
yeah,
it.
forget what I said. I don't know.
Don't sue us, please.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
This is not health advice.
yeah, no. But anyway,
never been.
cold brew, coarse, like really coarse coffee, like 24 hours, maybe 12 hours, depending on,
No, why really coarse coffee?
because that also brings back the extraction a little bit. If you did really fine coffee, you'd have to do even less time. And so
Yeah.
like that 12 to 24 hours window, it's usually 24 hours if you actually are making the cold brew in the fridge, 12 if you're making it just on the counter.
Because the colder temperature
Slows down that extraction
slows
even
extraction.
more because it slows down the movement of the water molecules
Agitation.
and slows down the extraction of the coffee. So yeah, like 24 hours in the fridge, 12 hours in the counter, coarser coffee, and then you separate it. And what you get is a really syrupy, thick, chocolatey, rich version of a coffee.
It's good. If you're someone who likes cream in your cold coffee, and if you don't want to get a latte, I would recommend going the cold brew route for
Yep.
sure.
Cold brew rounds the edges of a coffee. It really enhances the undertones and makes those a forefront.
If you have a good natural Ethiopian, those blueberry chocolate notes really come out.
Yeah. Yep. Most of the time I don't prefer cold brew, but I do like it sometimes, especially something you can make at home is a cold brew concentrate. So you make your cold brew in a more concentrated ratio and then use that in place of espresso in like a hot or in
Cold
an iced latte, which
in the
is
fridge
good.
lasts like forever.
Yeah.
which is great.
But not if you ask the health department.
No, but like I've had it a
depends on the
month
health department.
after making it, and it's still good.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, if you have the capability of making cold brew, and if you like cold brew, it's just a great thing to have. You have coffee ready to go at all times. It's great.
Yep. Bilderbeck secret menu. Something that my wife really likes to make is we keep cold brew concentrate in the fridge a lot of the time. Just batch that up.
Yep.
Keep in the fridge. And then we do like 40, 60 grams of that, which is probably like 2 to 4 ounces of coffee.
Yeah.
You're doing like 20 grams of agave syrup, just a little splash of vanilla extract,
Okay.
some whole milk, killer iced latte.
Dang.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, cold brew concentrate is a great thing to keep at home.
Great
It's
way to make, if you
easy to
don't
make.
want to have an espresso machine or you don't want to invest in that right now, do that. I've also heard of coffee carts that will start just by making iced lattes with cold brew concentrate.
Yeah.
And they're still really good.
Now, I wouldn't recommend using cold brew concentrate in like a hot drink. I just don't think that's the best way to do that. I don't think that's going to be very good.
It's going to bring your temperature down of your drink for sure.
Your temperature is going to be kind of cold. Your cold brew is going to taste weird hot. I wouldn't recommend that. But if you do like a lot of ice things, making cold brew at home, making cold brew concentrate at home can open up a lot of doors to stuff to be very easy to make. Now, there's also nitro cold brew,
Yes.
which you mentioned. Nitro cold brew, we used to make it at Mundos. Do you want to give it a little bit of a...
Yeah, so we had a kegerator with just a thing of cold brew, and then we also had a what do they call those? Carton. What do you call the name for like a thing of nitrogen?
Tank?
A canister of nitrogen that was hooked up to it. What that enabled us to do was not only infuse our coffee with nitrogen, but also that is a way to pressurize it and allow it to come out through the counter up above the bar. So we had a nice little tap. We had nitro cold brew on tap. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was. That's not something that we really sell that much anymore. You know, I feel like that kind of got
Well, we
big.
don't sell any of it anymore, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like that was kind of something that got really big for a little while.
a little bit of
and
a
has
fad
kind of
for sure.
has kind of died down in popularity. I do think it's good.
It is.
If I'm drinking straight cold brew, I'd rather have nitro cold brew than regular cold brew. I think.
Sure. I'd have to try it again because I feel like I would disagree with you, but I have to give it a fair shot again.
Yeah.
But when we had it, it was really good. What we ran into was a lot of people asking for it without nitrogen, and we didn't really want to offer both because that's kind of too many options. And we figured that the most people who liked it with nitrogen are okay with it without. So we ended up discontinuing the nitro cold brew. And I used to get people regularly asking for it, getting bummed that we don't have it, but I've almost never hear that anymore. Kind of faded out a little bit.
Yep. Yeah.
Rest in peace,
Now,
nitro cold brew.
To the thing that I mentioned earlier, and then move to cold brew, Japanese style flash brew.
Yeah.
It's called Japanese style because the Japanese invented it.
Smart people.
That's how it got its name. It's crazy. This is a method of making cold coffee that involves heat. This is my preferred, probably Jack's preferred method of making iced coffee.
Yes.
And this is incredibly easy to do at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's boiled down, like you're not boiling. This isn't a recipe. I'm saying to boil down how you do it. You brew a batch of coffee, right? Say if you're making a half gallon of coffee, okay? Yeah. You use a half gallon's worth of ground coffee, but you only put half of the water you normally would through it.
You say a gallon's worth of coffee, but half a gallon's worth of water?
I'm going to get rid of those numbers that I just said because it's just going to confuse.
Sure.
You basically brew it with half as much water as you normally would and use that amount of water in ice in the bottom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can do this on your home coffee pot. If you have like a hot plate, that might add some complications.
Turn that off.
Yeah, you don't.
And
if you can.
Turn it off just in general.
Yeah, don't use a hot plate.
We don't need it.
It's not. It's gonna just keep. It's gonna make your coffee gross. Anyway, but yeah. So just basically, if you're like, okay, if I want flash brew, instead of brewing a full pot of coffee, you get the ground coffee for a whole pot, and you only brew a half a pot over ice, and there you go. You get that ratio of. We're talking about ratios.
Yeah.
Right. It's not as watery as it would be if you had brewed a regular ratio and dumped it over ice.
Exactly.
appropriate temperature. There's some messing around with that you can do.
Mm-hmm. What does that do to the flavor, would you say, compared to cold brew?
I would say it's more true to a filter coffee. So you get that fuller, maybe brighter, cleaner taste.
Yeah.
That you get with a pour
sure.
over versus that chocolatiness.
And what coffees do you prefer iced? Like when you're tasting a coffee, if you taste it hot, what kind of flavors would you be like, wow, this would taste good cold?
Usually brighter coffees. Brighter, sweeter, fruitier. Like the Kenya Nairi. I had that on a flash.
I've done that recently.
It's pretty good,
Yeah.
right? Like our Colombia Palo de Rosa, that's good flash. Those brighter coffees that have more fruity, especially citrusy notes, are really good flash like that.
Yeah. I love a good like citrusy soda or beverage, so I can see that.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, that's very easy to do. If you're making especially in a pour over, if you make pour overs at home, try that. Try just pouring half as much water and putting that weight in water and ice in the bottom.
Boom.
I personally mess around with that ratio a little bit. Like I try to think of how to communicate this where it's not confusing. I will pour half as much water and I will put 1/4. I'll pour half as much water and then I'll get half as much
over here.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the clearest way to communicate it. I will pour half as much water. I will take that weight in ice and then split that in half. And it's actually something we do at Mundos now too. Is you put that ice in there and then you save the other ice. So then you pour it over, and in that recipe, it actually melts all of the ice, cools the drink, chills it fully, and it melts that ice, and then you pour it over that fresh ice, and then you get ice in there. I like an icy beverage. Yeah. Instead of a bunch of half-melted ice cubes, you fully melt half of them, and then you have like ice in your drink.
That's smart because then you have...
I think that works well.
You have a good amount of fresh ice that will stay ice for longer.
Yeah.
Your beverage will stay colder for longer on a hot summer's day.
Yeah. If you really want
it's a
to.
win-win.
Yeah. And basically when I'm making it for myself at home, I basically just try to use as little ice as possible to cool down the coffee. And then I'll pour it over, especially if I'm feeling fancy, I'll pour it over some clear ice. I'll get like I'll get a rock of ice there. I'll get as little ice as I can to actually cool the coffee so as to limit the dilution.
Shout out Clear Ice. If you're at Mundos,
shout out Clear Ice.
Get the Citrus Noir.
Yeah,
delicious
beverage.
Shout out. I'm not going to explain it beyond that. You have to try it yourself. But
I'll explain
big block of Clear Ice. Shout out Adam for crafting this drink. It's delicious.
Like an old-fashioned style coffee.
Cold fashioned
mocktail in a way. Cold fashioned. That's what Valor.
Yeah,
they've used that name before.
That's why we didn't.
Yeah, it's different though too. It's
got a very different beverage,
it's
but
different balance. It's got some
name.
citrusiness. It's a great drink. You guys should definitely have it.
If you like cocktails, but you also like coffee, that's a beverage to try.
There's no alcohol in it. It's not a cocktail, to be clear. It's a coffee.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if you like,
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, smart
for other people.
Smart.
Yeah. We don't have a liquor license.
No, those are expensive, especially here. So
wouldn't you believe it? I thought this was America. You know,
land of the drunk.
That's crazy.
A lot of places around here a lot of bars, a lot of alcohol.
Yeah. Anyway, do you think that we thoroughly covered flash brew just now?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. It's super easy to make at home. Just follow that half and half water recipe, and you can make flash brew, and it's great. It's great on a summer day.
Have fun with it.
If you ever, and you can like experiment with it. If it's like, man, I'm having people over for brunch and I want to make some iced coffee, you know, it'd be crazy is if you sliced up some oranges and put it in the ice in the bottom.
That's wild.
And
that's
paired
basically
it with
as
the right
bad
coffee.
as co-fermenting your coffee.
No, it's not.
No.
And if you like paired it with the right coffee, you know, and like really brought out, had a little bit of, you know.
Oh yeah, it's like putting cucumbers in your water.
I was just about to say this might be crazy. Cucumber in coffee.
I don't know about that. I feel like cucumbers can just be slightly bitter, and you wouldn't want to add that. But have you tried it before?
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about it. I'm
gonna try it right now.
Dome, right?
Just off the dome, right?
Really,
here.
just any kind of berry. Any kind of berry.
Berry. Oh, cucumber's a berry?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I didn't know that just now. I missed 10 seconds ago.
If it makes you mad to hear that a cucumber is a berry, comment down below. And also, search your heart.
Well,
figure out why that makes you mad.
I think that's more so a reason. I think that's more so that the education system has failed us.
Yeah,
you know?
It has.
In my case, homeschooling, you know. No. It's not.
Your parents never knew. They couldn't know what they weren't taught.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. That's deep.
The government doesn't want you to know how many things are berries. They don't
There's
want
so
you
many
to know.
berries out there. You think blueberries, raspberries? Guess what? Strawberries aren't even berries.
Raspberries aren't berries. Both raspberries and strawberries are aggregate fruits.
How
like
is that
pineapple and corn.
Comment down below how that's going to change your life.
Watermelon, pumpkins, tomatoes, grapes, berries.
Bananas.
Bananas are berries. Listen,
Deeply disturbing.
people that I talk about this way too much, and I didn't mean to do
We
it
need to cut
again.
this guy off.
I didn't mean to do it again.
Here we
People
are.
Are
How did
listening
we
to
get
this,
here?
and they've heard me talk about this
Steeping your
before.
coffee
it always
in
comes up.
berries.
I can't help it. I can't help it. Oranges, lemons, limes.
You're trying to liberate the people.
Lemons
It's okay,
aren't even
I
a
get
natural fruit. Do you know that?
Lemons?
You know they made lemons?
Yeah, when people say when life gives you
Life
lemons.
doesn't give you lemons.
We created
Man's
lemons.
arrogance give you lemons.
Man's arrogance.
Citrons
We
and
didn't like what
limes, they
God gave
combined
us, so
and they
we
brought them
created
together.
lemons.
Yeah.
No, I think that's just man's creativity. I think.
Maybe.
All
There's a
right.
fine line.
That's true. That is true.
Fine line. You ever
Arrogance
heard of
and
AI?
creativity.
Anyway.
This has been fun.
Cool. Yeah, let us
Diving
know.
into these coffee beverages.
Yeah, it's super complex. The advice that I would give is know what you like, know how what you like is made, and just do your best to communicate that. And it's hard. There's a bunch of names, and names are going to change. Just like different cultural backgrounds.
In 5 years, they're
all
going to
that
be
stuff.
different.
It's never going to not be confusing.
Yes.
But yeah, do your best, and especially if you're on the cafe side of things, do your best to really understand what a customer is trying to get, so that they don't have to be disappointed. So you can serve them well and actually
even
what they
though
were
it
ordering.
might be awkward to kind of try to figure out what they want at register, it's much better to serve them what they want rather than serve them something they don't want because you didn't feel like talking to them about it.
Yeah. Especially if you're on register and you're not actually going to be serving them the drink.
Yeah,
And so you're
it's
just
even
like,
more embarrassing.
they'll deal with that.
Yeah. Don't do
Brutal.
that. Don't be that person.
Don't be that register
Be a
person.
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be a team player. All right.
Cool.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Let us know your favorite espresso beverage or don't. I don't care. Thanks for listening.
I care. I want to know your favorite espresso beverage. Jack might not care, but I care. Nick cares.
I care.
Please let me know.
We care. We care about you. We'll see you at the Roasters Retreat in Detroit if you're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
This has been episode 16. You can try this coffee if you're at Mundos.
Gachatha.
And the Citrus Noir. We should make the cold brew that goes in there with the Kenya Gachatha. That would be good. Then we have to charge
Maybe.
$18 for it. So.
Yeah, that would be expensive.
Yeah. Sweet. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll
Bye.
see you next time.
To the edge of night, until the stars are all alight. Mist and shadow